Hello, friends. My name is Asslam Sheikh. I'm the founder and CEO of Live, and I'm coming live after a long while. I was used to come live on every Friday during COVID time, and then post COVID, the business got started, and then we got so busy that we didn't get time to get on live. But then, thanks to some of our well wishers and advisors, we said that okay, let's go on live and share some of the important informations which would be important from a students and parents point of view, why you should be taking the note of the new upcoming details and what's happening in the education world, especially in India and abroad, whether it's connected directly or indirectly with study abroad or career counseling or anything related to education field, which will help you to take the wise decisions. So let's start this session, and let's start this session with some very important news which has come in the recent days, and then how it's going to impact. The first news came from UK. So they are going to implement from this month onwards the new rule which says that you cannot bring, as an international students, especially I'm talking from the India point of view, you cannot bring your dependents. Now, if you cannot bring your dependent, that really impacts the Indian market, because most of the postgraduate students who are going to UK rely onto the fact that they would like to take their spouses in future, and that has impacted quite well for the Indian market point of view. प्लस उसके साथ में एक नई न्यूज़ ये भी आई कि यू हैव टू, इन ऑर्डर टू गेट द जॉब इन यूके आफ्टर योर कोर्स completion, you have to have a salary of 38,700 pound, which is approximately say 37-38 lakh rupees, which is a sharp increase of 10,000 pound. अभी 26,200 पाउंड जो पहले लोग पूछते थे, अब नाउ वो बोल रहे हैं कि भाई आप 38,700 38,700 की सैलरी आप सिक्योर करते हो तो ही आपको जॉब ऑफर यूके में मिलेगी, विच आई बिलीव इज अ स्टीप राइज है ना. कोई इतने शॉर्ट पीरियड में 10,000 पाउंड की डिमांड सैलरी करना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए खासकर. बट नेवरदलेस, दिस इज द न्यू रूल एंड विच आई बिलीव इज गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट the number of Indian students who are choosing to go to UK for higher education. और इसी वजह से, क्योंकि हमारा इंडस्ट्री का डिपेंडेंस भी जो है वो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स पे ज़्यादा है. मेनी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर गोइंग फ्रॉम इंडिया टू अब्रॉड, स्पेशली नॉट फ्रॉम इंडिया, चाइना ले लीजिए आप, एनी अपकमिंग डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज ले लीजिए, वहाँ से जो बच्चे जाते हैं यूजुअली दे गो फॉर अ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स एंड दे हैव गॉट द कि उनका ये एम होता है कि वी वुड लाइक टू टेक अवर स्पाउस इन फ्यूचर, एंड दैट इज रियली गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स फॉर श्योर विद दिस पर्टिकुलर रूल. और बीच में देयर वर न्यूज ऑफ यूके फार राइट्स जो ग्रुप है, जो पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप है, यू नो, देयर वर लॉट ऑफ confusion and then lots of rights which happened in the various parts of UK, that has also impacted the student choice, and students from India and China are really very skeptical about UK, choosing UK because of these special reasons. उसके अलावा और भी कुछ न्यूज़ आई थी which I will share with you, and I will see, and we'll see that how does it impact you in order to take your call. यूके का एक और भी था कि द यूके इमिग्रेशन रूल रिफ्लेक्ट्स अ बॉर्डर ट्रेंड इन यूरोप. अब वहाँ पे ये हो रहा है कि दे आर ट्राइंग टू कंट्रोल द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, और उसका इम्पैक्ट जो है यूरोप में भी हो रहा है. जैसे नॉर्वे जो कंट्री थी विच वाज वेरी फेमस इन ऑर्डर टू ऑफर द फ्री एजुकेशन लाइक जर्मनी to international students, now they have started taking the tuition fee from the students who are coming from outside European Economic Area and Switzerland. So इसका मतलब यह होगा कि those students who are choosing Norway over other countries, especially for the free education, is no longer going to benefit out of this case. And of course, I believe कि ठीक है यार, I mean होना भी चाहिए. आप the Norwegian people who are paying huge taxes, you know, on that cause international students are coming and paying, because कहीं free तो चीज free नहीं होती है, then somebody has to pay for that fees. If you are not paying as a student or as a parent, then definitely you somebody else will pay, and this is what the local people who are paying for your fees. So if they started charging the fees also, I think that it's a reasonable thing to make it, and still the fees is being kept at the very lower end, not as expensive as like some of the top US university or UK university. So let's see that how does it impact your choice also in future. Meantime, there is a news from France also, but thankfully that's something which is positive. So France has relaxed the dependent visa rules, and it has already been very welcoming. Especially, they are offering the 24 months of stay back option to the graduate students. That is a welcoming note. On a welcoming note, the international students go to France, and it has really become a very popular destination in recent time, especially among the Indian students also. That to choose France over other countries in Europe, especially when you're looking for this particular trend. उसके अलावा इन ऑर्डर टू काउंटर अगेन बात करते हैं यूके की, क्योंकि कुछ न्यूज़ अगेन मेरे सामने आ रही हैं, तो यूके की बात करते हैं, तो यूके यूनिवर्सिटीज हैव आल्सो स्टार्टेड ओपनिंग द ऑफशोर कैंपसेस. आपने न्यूज़ रिसेंटली न्यूज़ में देखा होगा, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ साउथहैम्पटन फ्रॉम यूके is deciding to come to India, and they have already planning to invest 30 million pound in India in next 10 years, and they are expecting around 5,500 students to come and study at this Indian campus. So that could be a game changer. Again, this बहुत सारे इसमें क्वेश्चंस भी होते हैं, मैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस लूंगा डेफिनेटली. आई हैव गॉट ऑलरेडी फ्यू क्वेश्चंस related to this, कि how it is impacting the Indian students' choice to go to UK or not to go to UK, or whether to study in the UK-based universities Indian campus. So we'll talk about the question answer session में इसके बारे में. उसके अलावा there were some other news also. Now what's happening is that Germany is also opening up. Germany has introduced the online visa formalities. I think thankfully after a long time, बोलते हैं ना, देर से है but दुरुस्त है. Germany was very much at the receiving end, especially उनके जो वीजा formalities थी, which was very very pathetic, I would say, in compared to other countries. We had to wait a lot of time for the appointments. Then उनका API का एक rule था, we'll talk sometime in detail, and it was all impacting the international students to reach university on time. Visa process बहुत late हो रहा था, but thankfully now German government has introduced the online visa formalities, which is believed to cut down the number of days it usually take for anybody. It's not only for students, also for the job seeker visas वगैरह के लिए, to apply for the visa and get the visa on time. So ये एक अच्छी चीज़ है, because German government has recently announced that they are looking for 400,000 skilled workers. Now that could be from a various categories background point of view, but essentially healthcare में, digital में, AI में, they have got a huge requirement for the people to come and join the workforce. And so it is a good news for the Indian students point of view, that now the visa process is going to be streamlined. It is going to be faster as compared to the previous time. And of course this also shows that German government is really looking forward to welcome the international students, and then students who are looking for a long-term career in Germany in that scenario, by introducing this particular rule. इसके अलावा कुछ सख्त रूल आए थे जो कनाडा और ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने इंट्रोड्यूस किए थे. फॉर एग्जांपल, ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज सेइंग दैट this year onwards they are going to cap the number of international students, so they do not want to have more than 270,000 students in 2025. So this is kind of a 1/3 cut of international students. A बहुत बड़ा cut है, and many Indian students have taken a very strong notice of this particular rule. This also shows that the government is not really welcoming you as an international student, because they do not want to have those many numbers which they cannot handle से बात याद आई कि they also had this rule proposed, because the lot of international students who went to Australia was pushing the prices of the rental properties and the properties who wants to buy, because there were so many Indian and international students that it really pushed their property prices. This is what apparently the government said, and they had to control the property and the rental prices and the rental crisis, they said. And in order to do that, they said that we had to cut down the international students numbers who are coming to Australia, and of course they are looking for accommodation to stay, etc., etc. And hence they have taken this very strict rule that by in 2025 we'll cut down the international students number by 1/3, which is approximately 270,000. अब इसमें क्वेश्चन ये होता है कि then what we do as an Indian student, should we go, should we not go? Well, the answer is very simple, that if you come within this gap and you for some reason realize that Australia is the only country which will make your career bright, then definitely you still want to go, you want to apply as early as possible so that you are within the reach of 2,70,000 students. However, in case for any reason you believe that okay, the government looks not so welcoming, they are putting up the cap, we don't know what is going to happen future, and then we do not want to take a risk. In that case, of course, you have got a lot of options open in other countries. Australia nahi to bahut sari countries hai which are welcoming for the international students, and you can definitely look into it. There was also news from Canada. Canada also put a cap. They are going to cut down the stay back option from 3 years to 2 years for the masters and doctoral students, and they aim to reduce down the number of international students coming to the country by 10% in 2025, and they have aimed it to 4,37,000 students approximately that they want to welcome इन दिस पर्टिकुलर ईयर. तो ये साल बहुत सारे चैलेंजिंग इमिग्रेशन रूल्स लेकर आ रहा है इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, स्पेशली फ्रॉम इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, एंड यू वुड लाइक टू टेक दिस फिगर्स, दिस immigration rules into account before you decide to choose any particular country, any particular college, in a particular discipline you are looking for. Many times I see that many of the time students do not keep a track of this information and then how it is going to impact them. They just want to follow their students, their earlier friends or their seniors guidelines ke nahi, Australia is a very good country or Canada is a very good country, UK is the only country which can make your career or break your career. No, it's not so. You always need to look into that what are the trends, what are the new government policies, and how it is going to impact directly or indirectly for your decision to go abroad for higher education. My suggestion is that you always look into this case and you customize the solution based on what are you looking for. You cannot have a tailor-made you cannot have generic answers to all the customized questions for which you are looking to study abroad. So what you need to do is that you need to ask question that why I'm going to go to study in that particular country, whether that particular specialization is relevant into my country, into that chosen country, whether the industry in the chosen discipline is growing, has got the reputation of offering the lucrative careers in that particular field once you graduate. And then you need to also look into the job requirement, job market. जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा कि they have the UK government is now demanding £10,000 more in order to apply for the similar job in order to convert your student's visa into work permit. अगर employer is not ready to pay that much amount of money, £38,700, the government is saying that you must have the salary to be offered by the employer in order to get the job permit. अगर employer is not ready to offer you that much of salary, then आप वहाँ पढ़ के करोगे क्या, right? So that's a question you need to ask yourself, that whether your course, your exposure, your background from India is going to help you to get that much of salary or not. And the countries, as we saw, Australia, Canada, who are putting a cap onto the number of international students because of the rising the property prices or the rent rates, then you need to also see that apart from tuition fee, does it make sense to pay that extra living cost and then go to the country, or should I look for some other option? These are the questions you need to answer before you decide to go to any particular destination. So these are the few important news which I believe that you need to keep in track with in order to make your journey of studying abroad smooth and meaningful for this year. Now let's move on to taking some questions. So I've already got few questions. I don't think so we'll have that much of time to go through each question, but let's take important questions. For first question is been asked that in the present scenario, what will be the stayback option for the students studying from USA? So well, that remains at the moment as it is. You don't know, how the Trump is going to take care of this immigration policy, and he has already made a lot of interesting comments on the various trades and businesses. जैसे उन्होंने बोला कि कनाडा को हमारे स्टेट्स में ऐड कर लेना चाहिए और 51st स्टेट होगा जो यूएसए का है ना, जो कनाडा को अगर हम मिला लेते हैं. So this kind of rubbish what he talks, so we don't know exactly what is he going to do, but at the moment don't believe that he's going to play more around with the student immigration rule, because that also adds to a lot of the international earning to the kitty of the government, and hence I believe that it's going to remain same 1 year stay back for the general courses, and for the STEM program which are STEM designated program, you're still going to get the 2 year stay back options in US. Second question was asked that how can I pursue MBA abroad without GMAT? Well, there are lots of universities which do not require GMAT as a mandatory requirement. They may mention onto the website, and that's a tricky point, because when you go to the website to get the information, you may not get the most relevant information, or the information which can be exempted, or the requirement which can be exempted. For that, I strongly believe that you should approach to any trusted study abroad consultant, take their opinion. However, there are many universities who do not require GMAT. पहले समझ ले GMAT होता क्या है, but GMAT का जो entrance exam है, this was coined by most of the US universities so that they can filter the application before they select the right students. Well, this GMAT is not a mandatory requirement across the other countries, first of all. So if you want to go to UK, you want to go to Australia, you want to go to France, Germany, there are many universities who do not even consider GMAT as one of the admission requirement. GMAT is mostly applicable in case of US. Number one thing. Number two, within US also now there are two types of universities. One who takes and asks for the GMAT, another university who really don't care about GMAT. And especially post COVID, many international universities, they wanted to fill up their own seats. So rather than asking for GMAT, they say, please, if you have got the relevant background and qualification, do come in and fill our seats and get to study at our campus. So frankly, there are many universities who do not even care about GMAT, unless you want to go to the top ranking Ivy League universities or equivalent Ivy League universities. Otherwise, GMAT is really not mandatory. I would request you to go to the UK university options, Australian university option. That is much easier, and many US university you can connect with the study abroad consultant. They will guide you for the specific university. But yes, it is possible to go MBA without GMAT. Third question is asked: is it possible that my visa gets rejected even after receiving admission letter? Well, I must tell, the admission letter is not the guarantee for you to enter into any country or university. Admission letter is just a letter confirming by the university that you are meeting their academic requirement to study this particular course. Again, there are two types of admission letter. If you don't know, there is a conditional admission letter and there is an unconditional admission letter. So conditional admission letter will mention some other condition which you are still supposed to fulfill and you have not fulfilled. But unconditional letter is unconditional, as it clearly states. You must have fulfilled all the conditions, and then university invite you to study. Understand one thing, that getting the condition fulfilled prescribed by the university is one thing, and getting the condition prescribed by the immigration authorities to get the visa is another thing. So getting the admission letter is the half battle one, the another half is getting the visa done. So there are two permissions you need to get in order to get your chance to study in a foreign country. So essentially it means that after getting the offer letter or admission letter or I-20 कुछ university बोलती है, उसके बाद में you need to go ahead to prepare for your visa, complete the visa formalities, get the visa के लिए interviews हो सकते हैं, नहीं हो सकते हैं, whatever the formality of the respective country, get the visa done. And once you get the visa, then you have a chance to travel. Again, there is a third niche which I would like to add. After getting the visa, also there is a very rare possibility, but you need to account that the immigration authority at the airport, whether it's in Indian airport or that designated country airport where you intend to go, have got the final authority to say yes or no to you to travel. So it means first situation is that you have to have an offer letter or admission letter, unconditional. Second, you have to have a visa issued by Indian in India by the foreign immigration authority. And then third, that the immigration officer where you are going to get your immigration clearance when you travel at the airport, Indian immigration officer, foreign immigration officer, both need to say okay to you to travel further, and that's how you eventually land into that particular country. So there are three checkpoints which will allow you to get through the visa, but admission is not the guarantee. Your visa can be rejected, as you asked. Yes, visa can be rejected even after having the admission letter, because as I said, visa formality alag hai. You have to show the bank finance, you have to show required fund, you have to show sponsor documents, and these are all other documents which are over and above the admission letters, which university usually does not see. or they do not have authority to see, or they do not have the resources to see, and hence you got to apply for the visa, and visa yes or no आ सकता है, उसके base पे you will travel. Let's take question number 4. Which country offer best job opportunity after studying AI program? Well, there are almost all the countries can offer, because AI is going to be the normal norm in across all the countries. It's not relevant to the country. India ko hi dekh lo, there are so many things are happening in the field of digital enhancement, transformation, innovation. So of course, other countries are, we say, that 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ahead of India. So you can imagine that all the developed nations would be having a lot of job opportunities, because their industries, their segments of the different fields are also getting onto AI and machine learning. However, to answer priority wise, how would you said US would always be the torchbearer in this particular field, because US has always has got the tradition of being the most innovative countries of the world for last so many decades. So I would rate US as number one country. Canada is also a very promising country where, so far as AI and ML machine learning is concerned. Then I would also suggest look at Ireland, because job opportunities are very high. Anything related to tech, technology, and IT. You must be knowing that almost all the major IT companies and financial companies and even pharmaceutical companies headquarters are based out of Dublin in Ireland, and hence that also could give you a good job opportunities in this particular field. You may also want to look into emerging countries. UK was a little slow to catch up with AI, but UK is also there. You cannot neglect. Germany is again a very promising upcoming country. So with regards to AI, and we saw that German the government is very welcoming in terms of welcoming the skilled workforce and the international students, introducing that online visa or formalities. So I'm sure that it will help you to look into these countries over and above other countries. Then another question came very interesting, that which universities offer program on GHG accounting or carbon footprinting. Sustainability is a buzzword, and a lot of things have been offered. Lots of universities, University of Dundee in UK, University of Bath in UK, UC Berkeley in US are the promising universities. You may want to look at it. University of Sketchlight in UK, again in Scotland side, is a university who are the front runner in terms of offering the courses like carbon management, the sustainability and carbon footprint management, etc., etc., and related courses. So you can have a look at these universities. Again, consult with a study abroad consultant or do some research for in-depth study in this particular area. Next question is asked: is it possible to study abroad for free? Well, as I said, in Norway used to offer the free education. Still, there are many universities offering, but they're slowly, gradually turning into, and they also realize कि यार हम अपने लोगों का पैसा टैक्स से वसूल कर रहे हैं, यार फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स को फ्री में पढ़ा रहे हैं. Of course, उनकी भी अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट है, because there is a sudden sharp deficiency in the number of workforce. So that's why it's a give and take. We will offer the free education. Many people will choose us over US, UK, Canada, Australia as a promising country, and they may come to our country to study. Well, Germany is a front runner in particular this field. Germany has been very popular, and Indian students have picked up Germany over other European countries so far as free education is concerned. Middle East, maybe Germany was ranked among top 6 destination for the Middle Eastern students to choose country, and Europe that was the number one country for the Middle Eastern students. And India में भी the German universities का promotion है काफी हो रहा है, and they offer the not only masters programs for the free of course, but nowadays they're also offering undergrad programs in English language. So traditionally, German university क्या करती थी? They used to invite you that you can come to our country, but learn some basic German and then go for the for the free education. But increasingly उनको समझ में आ गया कि भाई बहुत से स्टूडेंट जो है जर्मन नहीं सीख पाएंगे या जर्मन सीखना इतना आसान नहीं है. Then they started offering the masters program in English for 100% tuition fee waiver, and then later on they also realized that we need to also have students pursuing bachelor courses, and hence initially they were very adamant that only the students who learn the German language up to C1 level can go for the free education. But now they are also taking started taking the students from IB and IG Cambridge or IB board background to directly into their English language German English taught German program in the various disciplines like IT, engineering, etc. Apart from Germany, Sweden is another country which you can have a look at it in order to go for the free education. And towards the end of the program, we'll take a few more questions. Okay, this is a question which was asked related to culinary program. Which college provides the best culinary program? Well, it's really, it comes down to what is best in your eyes, because what is your requirement. For example, Culinary Institute of America, CIA, or Lee Cordon Bleu, these are the famous institutes throughout the world because they have got the very recognized brand for last so many years and decades promoting culinary courses. But I would like to draw your attention, there are many other courses, many other colleges in different countries which are available for especially culinary courses. अब culinary courses में बहुत progressions हो गए हैं. You can go for a culinary course. By the way, those who do not know, culinary course is to make you a world class chef. So you can go for culinary course. You can further specialize into bakery and pastry and chocolate. So you don't have to do a complete culinary course, which also talks about how to prepare the different cuisines and different types of food. So you can specialize into bakery and chocolates. There are also courses which focuses on veg culinary arts. जैसे सस्टेनेबिलिटी, कार्बन फुटप्रिंट्स एक ट्रेंड हो गया है, वैसे ही बीइंग वेगन, एंड नाउ तो अभी बहुत सारे वेगन टाइप्स ऑफ वेगन भी हो गए हैं, ग्लूटेन फ्री और वगैरह वगैरह. सो इफ यू वुड लाइक टू गो फॉर veg culinary arts, then there are lots of courses offered in the particular field. I would like to draw your attention to have a look at some of the colleges in Switzerland. Switzerland is world famous for hospitality and culinary course, no doubt about it. थोड़ा सा मैं पानी पी लेता हूँ. So Switzerland is become is a father figure in the field of hospitality and culinary. So do look into some of the programs offered in Switzerland. There is a course, Culinary Arts Academy is a very famous college. Apart from that, BHMS, Business and Hotel Management School, नाम ये है, but उनके भी culinary courses है. You can also have a look at HTMI, which is a very famous college, and it's the only Swiss college which has got the partnership with the government of India for their skill development program. So there are lots of programs offered by these colleges in the field of culinary. You can also look at Singapore Etzendice, एक बहुत famous culinary school है वहाँ पे. You can have a look at that particular college also, which also focuses on to only culinary course. वहाँ पे और कुछ नहीं सिखाया जाता है, वो college में सिर्फ culinary course होता है. फिर एक ICAI करके कॉलेज है दुबई में. You can also have a look at it. It's again a very focused culinary institute in the world which offers a high quality of culinary courses, and it's all job oriented program which they offer. So I believe that is a good search for you to go through it. Then next एक last question ले लेते हैं. How easy it is to get education loan for study abroad? Well, जैसे स्टडी अब्रॉड काउंसलर्स और कंसल्टेंट्स है, वैसे बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स आ गए हैं ये पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में. these startups are also offering a lot of financial opportunities for the international, for the Indian students who wants to go for international education. So you easy hard, well easy hard तो नहीं बोलूँगा, but yes, you need to comply with the education loan formalities. Let's look at some of the formalities, what they look into. Usually they want to see your credentials, then your guarantor's credential. Guarantor credential is more important, frankly speaking, because आप तो चले जाओगे, लेकिन अगर कल के रोज आपने पे नहीं किया वो लोन, तो वो किसको पकड़ेंगे यहाँ पे इंडिया में, राइट? सो ये बड़ा कॉमन सा लॉजिक है. इसके लिए guarantors needs to be very strong, who could be your father, mother, your brother, unmarried sister, who could be your close uncle. और हर एक इंस्टीट्यूट्स के, फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट्स के अलग अलग रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं. You can approach to the nationalized bank who would take their own sweet time. आपको तो पता ही है, नेशनलाइज बैंक में आप शायद गए भी नहीं होंगे एज ए स्टूडेंट अगर आप सुन रहे हो तो, बट अदरवाइज जो पेरेंट्स जो जाते रहते हैं तो आपको पता है कि ये लोग कितना हमको दौड़ाते हैं. बट या अगर लोन चाहिए तो क्या करें, गधे को बाप बनाना पड़ता है. सो यू नीड टू गो टू द नेशनलाइज बैंक. थोड़े से अच्छे रेट्स पे वो लोग आपको लोन दे देंगे, बट उनके बड़े स्ट्रिक्ट नॉर्म्स होते हैं कि अगर आपको ये नॉर्म्स फुलफिल होते हैं तो ही आपको लोन मिलेगा, अदरवाइज नहीं मिलेगा. तो खैर उनसे नहीं मिलता तो कोई बात नहीं. देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ प्राइवेट फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड कंपनीज वो नाउअडेज ऑफरिंग. कुछ स्टार्टअप्स हैं जो आपको बड़े लॉजिकली देखते हैं कि वो कोर्स करने के बाद आपकी जॉब की अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है, वो कंट्री में जो आप जा रहे हैं वो कंट्री कितनी स्टेबल है पर्टिकुलर कोर्स के लिए, उसकी इंडस्ट्री कितनी अच्छी कर रही है. तो ये सब चीजें भी कुछ देख के स्टार्टअप जो है लोन देना शुरू किए, जिसकी वजह से आपके लोन लेने के चांसेस काफी बढ़ जाते हैं. सो अगेन यू कैन टेक द स्टडी अब्रॉड कंसल्टेंट्स हेल्प. उनके पास उनके टाई अप्स होते हैं. दे विल हेल्प यू to assess your profile and accordingly they will guide you कि कौन सा लोन आपके लिए या कौन सा बैंक आपके लिए ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा. I think with this, we will try to conclude the session. And I would like to thank you for watching. If you're watching my program, and or you will be watching afterwards when it is becoming available. So I'll be coming every Saturday for half an hour. We will discuss about study abroad news, which is happening, or education news, which would be directly or indirectly impacting you as a student parents, and taking few questions to answer so that you can get yourself updated and take a wise decision. See you next Saturday. Thank you very much.